One warm and sunny afternoon, a group of children decided to play near the river. The air was fresh, and the sound of birds singing filled the sky. The river was calm, with small ripples moving gently on the water's surface. The kids loved this place because they could see ducks swimming, fish jumping, and sometimes even turtles resting on the rocks. As they walked along the riverbank, something caught their eyes. A family of ducks was caught in trouble. The mother duck and her little ducklings were tangled in a fishing net that had been left behind. The net was old and dirty, but it had wrapped tightly around the ducks, making it hard for them to move. The little ducklings were struggling to get free, and the mother duck looked very scared. One of the kids shouted, "Look! The ducks are stuck! We need to help them fast!" Without wasting any time, the children rushed closer. They were careful not to scare the ducks even more. Gently, they started to untangle the net. It was tricky work because the net was wrapped tightly around the duck's legs and wings. "Hold still, little ducks," said one of the kids softly. "We're going to help you." The children worked together. One kid held the mother duck gently while another cut the net near her wings. Soon, they freed the first duckling. Then they moved on to the others, freeing each little duckling one by one. After a while, all the ducks were free. The mother duck shook her feathers and quacked softly to her babies. The ducklings quickly waddled to the edge of the river and jumped into the water. They swam happily, moving close to their mother. The kids smiled and felt happy inside. "We did it," said one of them. "The ducks are safe now." But just when the kids thought the adventure was over, something surprising happened. The mother duck and her baby started making loud and quick quacking sounds. They flapped their wings and began walking toward the trees at the edge of the river. "Why are the ducks making so much noise now?" one kid asked, looking puzzled. "I think they want us to follow them," said another, pointing toward the forest. The children were curious. They looked at each other and nodded. So, they carefully followed the ducks as they walked into the cool shade of the trees. The ducks led them through the forest. The sun peeked through the leaves, making bright spots on the ground. The kids walked quietly, listening to the sounds of the forest, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the gentle footsteps of the ducks. After a short walk, they reached a small clearing. There, in the middle of the clearing, the children saw something that made their hearts beat faster. A baby deer was caught in a wire trap. The poor deer looked scared and helpless. It was trying to free itself but only made the wire tighter around its leg. The kids stopped and looked at the trapped deer. It had big, sad eyes that seemed to ask for help. One child said softly, "Don't worry, little one. We will help you." They moved slowly toward the baby deer, speaking softly to calm it. The deer trembled but didn't run away. The kids carefully worked to untangle the wire. It was not easy because the wire was sharp and tight. "Be careful," said one child. "We don't want to hurt it." After several minutes of gentle work, the wire finally came loose. The baby deer stood up, shaking its leg carefully. It looked back at the children, as if saying thank you. Then it turned and ran back into the forest, disappearing behind the trees. The children watched quietly, feeling proud and happy. They had helped 2 families of animals that day. The ducks, now calm, swam back to the river. The children followed them and sat on the riverbank, feeling tired but joyful. One child said, "We saved the ducks, and the ducks helped us save the deer. That's amazing." Another child smiled and said, "It feels good to help others. Even small animals can be heroes." The sun began to set, painting the sky with orange and pink colors. The river sparkled in the soft light. The children knew this was a day they would never forget. This story teaches us something very important. When we are kind and help others, good things can happen. Sometimes, those we help will help us in return. Even the smallest animals, like ducks, can make a big difference. So always be kind to animals and to people. You never know when your kindness might save a life or bring new friends into your world. And that is the story of how some brave kids and their duck friends saved a baby deer and showed that caring can change everything.